Hello, true duelists. My name's Craig Fee, and as always, welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh update. She's just gonna be here for a little bit, I guess. Yes, welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh update, a video series where somehow a guy with a green screen hung lazily on a wall somehow does more work to talk about South American YCSs than the company hosting the damn YCS. As always, a huge thanks to the community at large for actually finding the information on this one, and in specific a shout out to Lampy Yugioh on Twitter. Give that man a follow, because if he ain't a damn good member of this community, I don't know who is, particularly when he hosts European YCSs. Remember those? Me neither. YCS Colombia, as the people call it, saw just shy of 500 people in attendance with 483 duelists. The Konami blog provides only the most in-depth information, and by in-depth information, I of course mean standings for each round. But wait, they've also posted the pairings. So, hot damn, can you imagine if they included like a breakdown of decks here? Wouldn't that be nice? Instead, once again, thanks to the community, we have to scrounge the top tables, because good luck figuring out what all 483 people played at that event. I can't even tell you what the exact ratio of fire decks was at my locals last week. If only we had a master list of all the decks from the deck registry at the event. If only such a thing could conceivably exist, then this might be an easier thing to do, but no, instead we simply have to suffer. And look at top 32, 11 different decks. TG got a top in fire format, man, that's crazy. How much of this is because of the difficulty of getting good cards in South America? I can't say for certain, but I can tell you after 9 rounds of Swiss, an Infernoid player was among top 32. And before the new support, mind you, that's actually pretty nutty. Although, don't exactly, get too crazy with it, because there were still 10 pure Snake Eye decks and 6 Fire King variants in top 32, so still fire format. Top 16 was similarly at least half fire decks. Top 8 had half pure fire decks alone, let alone the Fire King variants that had been overthrown, and finals wound up truly representing the state of the format, with
Carlos Andres Herrera Buendia
playing Runic Stun, going up against Christian Ureta on pure Snake Eyes. And I apologize if either of those names were mispronounced. I actually went on to Christian's YouTube channel to get a confirmation on how to pronounce it, and I swear to God that man speed runs his name every time he says it. No disrespect, I just wasn't entirely sure, because every time he says it at the beginning of a video, he sets a new world record. It's actually quite impressive. But if you want to check out his stuff, he does have a YouTube channel for you to look at, and that is a YouTube channel run by a 4-time YCS champion now, with him having won the event. Granted, it was against Runic Stun, but that's a nightmare, let me tell you. Is Runic Stun in particular the most representative version of stun decks in this format? I don't think so, but whether it mains Fossil Dyna or Amano Iwado, the key is to of course main all the cool floodgates like Skill Drain and Tick Boo and Rivalry, and even Synchro Zone. No longer can you claim Master Duel doesn't have an impact on the TCG, because that shit is limited in Master Duel, and now it's a 3 of in a second place YCS deck list. My God. Winner, as stated, was Christian Ureta, taking home the 4th win to the date and showing that it's still fire format, baby. The 4-time champ and winner of YCS Colombia gets a hearty congrats from myself and of course the community at large, as that's pretty darn cool to see, isn't it? The next YCS will be YCS Guadalajara, which may or may not have a new ban list in effect for it when it takes place in 2 weeks. But we don't know, and we won't know if we get to know. It'll just happen and we'll have to deal with it. It's happening on the weekend of April 13th and 14th, so like 2-ish weeks to find out. We'll cover that when it happens and give you all the in-depth information that Konami provides, such as pairings. And that's it. I can't wait. It's also April, which means April Fools, assuming you fell for, I don't know, Tatsim's tweet or my only slightly different appearance in this week's single card history video. Apparently, a lot of people just did parodies of other YugiTubers series, so that was interesting to watch. More notably for April, though, is the new product, because April brings the next core set for the TCG, with Legacy of Destruction set to release on April 25th, bringing yet another meta contender if the OCG results are anything to go by. Tenpai Dragons, as they are currently known, are a very strong OTK deck, capable of putting out, like 37,000 attack damage in one turn, thanks to the multiple attacks and summonings from their various monsters. Not to mention a field spell that will make their monsters safe in main phase 1 from activated effects, which are most things that you activate. That, coupled with the fact that they do most of their plays in the battle phase, makes them quite safe from common threats such as Effect Veiler or Nibiru, and it's shown it's a threat and nothing else in the OCG. Hell, apparently the deck will even side deck Heatwave, so that if you try to make them go first, they just simply floodgate both of you, wait for turn 3, and then OTK anyways. Is it the bringer of doom for the format? I don't think so, but it certainly seems like it's going to be a meta contender. Watch Konami slaughter fire decks though, and then this thing just skyrockets in price because it gets a bunch of secrets, sort of like what happened to Cash Tier after Tier Limit format or some shit. That would be funny. There's of course more than just the immediate meta impact cards, however, with Ancient Gear support coming in the set, along with the Shining Sarcophagus deck, the new Lightsworn cards, and plenty more. Not to mention the Rika deck, a new tri-type of insects, plants, and reptiles, which seems to be a promising start that's sure to find a home in a deck someday. Praying to Xenu or Marshtomp or whomever you put your faith in, that it can stay cheap so that I can play a fun new deck. Please. Oh, and also there's that Diabellstar adjacent Floodgate card, right? The one that makes it so they can't activate set cards or spell trap cards until they've been set, so that's cool. That'll have more impact in gameplay than, say, like Swole Poplar, but Swole Poplar will have more impact on our, general consciousness because, quite simply, nothing beats Swole Poplar. Why is it so big now? What the hell happened? Fascinating, and yet terrifying. As said, the set drops April 25th, so you can get hyped for that, or dread it. Doesn't matter how you feel about it, because it's coming. And it's gonna be at your locals when someone runs some of this shit. So, fucking deal with it. And speaking of new sets, the OCG has announced the name of their next core set after the release of Infinite Forbidden, which will be Rage of the Abyss. This won't be out in the OCG until the end of July this year, and all that's known currently is the set's name. The culturally enlightened over on Reddit will talk about how this is shark support, but true duelists know that it's going to be giving us mermail support. Abyss Rising gave us mermails in 2012, and Rage of the Abyss, fuck it, we're running with it, gives us mermail support in 2024. Let's go. Mermails A deck. I'm not even gonna pretend it's best deck. It's not been the best deck for quite some time, but I love it. If you couldn't tell by this channel's fucking logo for what news, but megalo, but glasses. You think I have consistency? Come on. Really though, that's the only thing we know is the name. So even though I'm hoping and coping that I'm going to get Mermail and or Atlantean support, we'll have to wait and see. With Konami's, arbitrary decision making, it could very well be Speedroid is the main first deck of the set. Who knows? Either way, we'll be seeing by the end of July, with reveals likely coming sometime in June, which I'll be covering on the New Card Report. Yeah, that's right. This whole segment was just a plug, an ad for a video series that I do on this channel. Get fucking advertised too, idiot. And in some news that terrifies me to my fucking core, there's also now a Konami official plush for both Melfi Rabi and Pearly itself. Not only are these simply adorable, but they're also perfect, and I do need them. I'm also positive that they won't be made widely available because Konami hates me specifically, and also because we can't hope for good ideas from the company that printed Maxi and then allowed it to exist in Master Duel. Do not at me. That's just having unrealistic expectations if you want, sensible fucking ideas. These were revealed at what I understand was a Kyber Corp pop-up store in Japan, where attendees had a chance to purchase these two exclusive plushies. I want to die. There's also a featured event that took place showing off a new Toon World pop-up book light, which was pretty schnifty. And more importantly than any of that, they also showed the Zeus figure. That's right, that's further confirmation from Konami that Melfi is in fact related to Zeus, and really Pearly is as well. And you can't dispute it anymore, they keep advertising them together. And in some light community news, Joshua Schmidt has a cat now? Or is getting one? I don't know, I saw a tweet where once again I'm reminded that cats are a pretty solid way to get engagement out of an audience. And then I contemplate doing stuff like this. Whoa. Oh, look at that. I need to trick her into coming here because if I don't, she will ignore me and go away. And also, if I don't, no, she knows the treats. She knows where the treats are. She knows where the treat. Look over here. Psst, 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 psst. Look at the camera. You gotta look cute for the camera. Psst. How are you this stupid? Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. And now she's just gonna go digging back in the drawer again because she knows where the treats are. And yeah, just show your butt to the camera. Sick, dude. Very, very appropriate. There you go. I don't even think there's any more. I don't think there's any more. There's no more. There's no more. There's just a gun. There's a gun. Anyways, she doesn't want to be here. And I've actually had to use treats, obviously, to trick her to get here. So I guess if you watch Joshua Schmidt, you can look forward to something not entirely different to what it is you just saw there, which is pretty cool because cats, if you like cats, and if you don't like cats, well, then you're probably a dick. So there you go. This one will probably be jumping off my desk shortly enough. I actually wrote into the script that she'd be gone by now, and I figured she would be, but instead it seems she is content to, I don't know, chew on plastic. Sick. Every brain cell firing at once right there. There you go. So Joshua Schmidt fans can look forward to more of that because I think his is orange, and orange cats are somehow even stupider. So ain't that neat? So that'll wrap it up for this week's update. Shoutouts as always going to LIFD, the true duelist approved way to show off your favorite cards and the best way to support my channel currently. This 3-set, 1-set, whatever you get set display could be yours for 15% off by using promo code YGOSTRATS, whether you type it in at the checkout or you click the link in the description of this video. Either way, it's a great way to show off your cards like these 3, which might be meta again one day. Cope. I paid for it, I sure hope so. And you can pay a little bit less for the display therein. That's right, it's a fucking advertisement. Promo code YGOSTRATS, and thanks to LIFD for the support as always. And of course, thank you for watching. As always, I've been your host, Craig Fee, which I've been told I need to enunciate much more clearly. Stay tuned for next week's update, next week's single card history, next week's who knows what. As always, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and not only will you immediately become a true duelist, but you will be impressing your smoking Italian wife, and you'll get to see more of these idiots, and sometimes you'll get to see this gun, and maybe if I don't care about how many treats my cat gets, she might show up in more of them too. Who knows? Stay tuned to find out on the next episode of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Update. Not Dragon Ball Z.